is almost over, which means that it's time for the mid-year freakout tag. Hello worlds, what's up? I hope you're good. So first, I wanna apologize if you hear weird noises or whatever, but because of my AC system here, the window is not completely closed, so you might hear a bit of noises, so I'm sorry for that, but I really don't wanna take off everything and then put it again together because it's a nightmare, so bear with me. So sorry. I cannot believe it's already end of June. Like, usually I see the time flying by, whatever, but since March 2020 I did not see the time flying by. Everything went so fast. So yeah, it's already time for another mid-year freakout tag that a lot of people are doing every single year around June, beginning of July, in that time frame kind of thing. But I did prepare it this time, so I already have some answers. I think so. Let me open Notion. I did not prepare it. Why did I think that I did prepare that tag? That I was ready to film it? It's not ready. Then I guess it's gonna be spontaneous. So the first question is the best book I've read so far in 2021. And I gave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 books 5 stars so far. But I think you know which one I'm gonna show you because I guess you know me. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm gonna have a different setup every single time because I have to get up and get the books. Of course, I'm gonna go with this one, so Across the Green Grass Field, which is a 6th book in the We Will Children series by Shannon Maguire, one of my all-time favorite series. There is something coming for this in January, just saying. But yeah, really excited. If you don't know what it is, I don't know where you've been, but basically it is a portal fantasy, meaning that there are kids who found their doors leading to the world that was made for them, like a perfect world for them, according to their personalities, preferences, etc, etc. Short novellas, they're really short. You can also find the audiobooks, they're really great, like they're 200 pages, but so much is in them, so we'll highly recommend. Okay, first question was quite easy. I'm happy about that. Best sequel you've read so far? Do I need to show you the same book again? Let me check if there is another book I could show you so I don't show the same book all over again. Oh yeah, I know. So I'm gonna cheat a little bit because it's not quite a sequel, it's more like of a companion novel kind of thing, but I've read this one this year. So A Shiver of Snow and Sky by Lisa Luadbeck, and it was absolutely beautiful, 5 stars. And I read the sequel, which is this one, so A Storm of Ice and Stars, not the sequel, but the companion novel. I give it 5 stars as well, and the covers are just gorgeous. Basically, it is a polar fantasy, so yes, very heavy snowy setting, and there is some kind of way to tell what's coming. You look at the stars, and if you see a green light, it means that all is well. If you see like a red light, it means that something is coming, and apparently here it's red. The goddess wants to send them a plague, but why? That's what you're gonna have to discover while reading the books. And of course my battery is flashing, so I'll be right back with a new battery. And I am back. I don't know if it's quite the same or not, but I also noticed I did not put my lipstick on, which I usually do, so I hope it's okay. I don't know why it would not be, but we never know. Okay, so next question. So far it is quite easy. New release you haven't read yet but want to. Okay, you cannot really see it here. Let me show you. But here, these are all my books, like my TBR books. The TBR books, my TBR cards. But here we're asking for a new release. So I guess something that was released in 2021. I mean, I guess this one because it's on top here, and I really want to get to. I don't think there is any other that was released this year. I don't know, but I guess this one was because I just got it. When was it published? I think it was this year. Why am I saying this year? It's this year. I mean, no, it's okay to say this year. Some people say it, but I don't have that accent. Yes, 2021. So I guess this one. So The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. Gwynne. I still need to check it up. Let me check if we see.
John Gwynne, commentator. John Gwynne, commentator.
Oh, Gwynne. Apparently it says Gwynne. Then I check on another thingy here.
Gwynne.
Gwynne. Okay, I'm sorry for saying Gwynne. It's Gwynne. I'm so sorry for that. But now we discovered that it was Gwynne. So for all the non-English native here, hi, it's Gwynne. But yeah, so this is actually a book I really want to read because Gabby made a great review of it, so I'm gonna link it down below so you can check it. But also because we will be reading another series from that author, so The Faithful and the Fallen. That series has 4 huge chunky books, but we will be reading that series all together for the read along, so I will link everything down below, the announcement video, but also the Twitter and blah blah blah. I hope you will be able to join us. These are adult fantasy, so I'm really looking forward to this one, and hopefully I will be able to read that one. I really want to read it now, but somehow I want to read The Faithful and the Fallen first and then this one after, because this one came out after, if that makes any sense. But yeah, definitely this one. Gorgeous. And so yep. Ooh, I don't know about this one. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Ooh, I don't know. I did not check what was coming. I know I pre-ordered a book by J. Christoph that's coming out in September, The Vampire whatever. I pre-ordered it like so many months ago. I don't know. I honestly don't know what's coming. So please, if you know of a book that's coming that you are sure that I'm gonna love, please link it down below. I mean, all of them, like all the suggestions, or if there is a video you made or you watched with releases, like second half of the year releases, important releases, I am open to them. Like I don't need more books on my TBR. Oh, something bought. Like I think it's a mosquito. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Can I hide it from you? What was that salt? I'm sorry. But yeah, I really don't know. So besides the one I pre-ordered many months ago, I have no idea what's coming. So I'm probably missing some huge books that are coming that I'm probably gonna be excited about once I know about them. But for now, I don't know anything about them. So next question. Biggest disappointment. Ooh. How I'm gonna do that? Biggest disappointment. So it's not. Oh yeah, I know. Like there are a few books that I gave 2 stars to, and like 2 books that I DNF'd, but they were not disappointing. It's just that they were not for me. Maybe that one. Oh yeah, I think that one. Let me grab it. So I expected that book to be a 5 stars or a 4 stars. I expected to love it, to love every single page, and to feel and to be happy and to cry and whatever. But actually the ending made me so mad that I reacted physically. I was like mad. I wanted to throw the book away. I wanted to scream, and I was like on my bed, what the fuck just happened? There is no way this makes it, blah blah blah. Actually, it makes sense. Like after talking about it, because I actually already read it with Liana, and I was like, okay, it makes sense. I don't like it, but it kind of makes sense because what happened at the end was kind of introduced at the very beginning of the book. I cannot say more because it's also like a sequel. But yeah, biggest disappointment because I gave it 2 stars while I gave the first book 5 stars, and this is Ready Player 2. I would still recommend it if you've read the first book because it's similar to the first one. Maybe a bit too similar, to be honest, which, you know, when the same thing is happening twice in different books or whatever, as you already discovered and enjoyed it in the first one, it's always a risk for it to be in the second book, and because you might enjoy it just as much, or you might just enjoy it just like, okay, I've already read about it, so I'm not like surprised, or you know. But yeah, it was so disappointing. Like in a way, like I wanted it to be a 5 stars, so that's why I'm disappointed in that book. So I don't know if there's gonna be a third one, but I will definitely read it. If there is a third one, I will read it, because there is nothing wrong with that book. It's just that the ending was not what I wanted, what I needed, and what I would have preferred. But there is nothing wrong with it. I still enjoyed all that. Just like the last bit. I was like, no way. But yeah, so Let me know if you read it. Okay, I don't know how many questions we already did. I don't know how many left. The biggest prize. The biggest surprise. So something like I was not expecting to love that I loved. Yeah, maybe that one. I'm not quite sure. So I have Sing Me Forgotten and An Ember in the Ashes. So Sing Me Forgotten, I give it 5 stars because I read it in 2 sittings. I just couldn't put the book down. It's all about a retelling of the Phantom of the Opera, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the main characters and the setting and everything that was happening. I found the writing style engaging. I was really like eating the pages, eating the words. I was really into it. So basically you have humans, so this is a fantasy, and you have other kind of creatures. Let's say that they are humans with magical attributes, let's say, and humans are scared of them, so they don't treat them well, let's say, and some are getting killed. And there is a guy who found one of these creatures, so one of the girl with some kind of abilities, and he's gonna save her from drowning, and he's gonna put her in his opera. And she has a power. Whenever people are singing, she can manipulate their memories. So she wants to make sure that everyone wants to come back to the opera, everyone wants to come back and see something new, or even the same thing over and over, just to make sure that the money is getting in the opera and that everything goes smoothly, etc, etc. But is a guy really that nice? Is a society really that against them, etc, etc? So I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. And then you have An Ember in the Ashes, which I expected to like, not to love it. I give it 4 stars, and I really ate that one as well. Like, I read it in 2 or 3 sittings. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed every bit of it. I was quite surprised because it feels like a bit tropey, I would say, and because it has desert kind of vibes, which is not my thing, knowing that I love fantasy, so it's kind of quite the opposite. But I really enjoyed it. It's a very beloved series, very popular, and we are reading the second one right now for Readathons, so I will link it down below so you can join us if you want to, or just hang out with us during the reading sprints if you don't want to watch the show, etc. But yeah, these, I guess. Oh, favorite new author. I never know how to answer these. I never know, because I don't know. I don't know. I'm looking here, but I should check what I've already read. I honestly don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say like a name like this because I have like just like this, because I have no idea. The thing with me is that sometimes I'm gonna love a book by an author and then never read anything by that author again, just because that's how my brain works, kind of thing. But definitely I'm gonna give some authors I've read this year more chances and read their future work, but I would not be able to say that there is a new favorite author of mine this year so far. So yeah. Newest fictional crush. I was actually talking about that like a few days ago. I want a crush. I want a fictional character crush. I want to fall in love with one of the characters, which did not happen since like my first year of booktube in 2018. I fell in love with like the characters from Six of Crows. I fell in love with the characters Luvian from State of Sorrow. I fell in love with the characters from Heart of Iron by Ashley Poston, which is a retelling of Anastasia. Anastasia. Why do I have Anastasia? This is not Anastasia, Anastasia. And I'm like, I did not feel anything strong towards a character this year. I'm right, maybe, but no, actually, no. Which is so sad, because I want to have crushes, but I did not have any crush this year, which is super sad. Newest favorite character, it's exactly the same. I don't have a new favorite character. I was not obsessed after reading certain books the way I was for Six of Crows and other series, etc. I did not feel that. I feel sad about not being able to answer these questions, but yeah. I really hope this second half of the year is gonna be better for me, like crush-wise and loving characters and being obsessed over books, which did not happen so far. A book that made you cry, easy, this one. Like, I was so tired. It was during the Readathon hosted by Jade over at Jade Reads, and it's all about like para fantasy, etc. And we were reading it. I mean, I was reading it during a live show, and I was so tired because it was such an intense week, amazing week. Like, I would do it again and again and again. It was amazing, but I was tired because we were like hosting live streams, like live shows, reading sprints every single day. One lasted like 11 hours, something like that, but it was insanely crazy. I mean, it was wild and amazing. And I read that one, and I don't know why, like the last sentences, like there is a poem at the end. It made me cry. I cannot tell you. Rereading that, I'm like, why did I cry over that? But it just talked to me in such a, like, I wanna, I'm tearing up here. I don't know why, but that book, like that poem at the end, talked to me. It spoke to me. It meant something. I felt it. My whole body reacted to it. I cannot explain you why. Because it's not like overly sad or beautiful or whatever. It just got me, and I was listening to the audiobook while reading it. No, yeah, audiobook and ebook. And I was like, oh wow. And I cried during the live show. So definitely this one. It wasn't sad. It wasn't like anything. It just spoke to me. And I really loved it. A book that made you happy. Yeah, across the green rice field, but I know. So this one, another middle grade, so A Wolf for a Spell by Kara Sutton. It is a retelling of Baba Yaga. You have some Baba Yaga in it. You also have Ivan Tsarevich, the Firebird and the Grey Wolf, etc, etc. So you have different like Russian folklore stories in it, and I really enjoyed it. It's all about friendship and helping others and learning, etc, etc. Learning to trust, learning to fight. I just really enjoyed it. I did really enjoy it. So it made me happy, and it's usually the case with middle grades. Like, I love adult and YA, etc. But middle grades, there is something to them that just makes you hopeful and happy at the end, that grows your heart. And I don't know how to explain that, but that's a feeling I don't get from YA or adult books, that I get from middle grades only. Yeah, that's a beautiful book. It has a wolf, so bonus point here. Russian folklore, and it has a wintry setting, so it has everything to be a perfect book. And it was for me, so I gave it 5 stars. I think it's more like of a 4 stars than a 5 stars, to be honest, but it just made me so happy. I really enjoyed everything, and it has everything I want in a book, like wolves, Russian folklore, and wintry setting, and it's all about friendship, etc. So it has everything in it that I want. So definitely this one, beautiful one. The most beautiful book I've got, or I bought. Oh my gosh, I got quite a few. Like the beautiful cover, or beautiful like But this one that I got from Ola is a beautiful book. It's tiny, full of fairy tales, and it's gonna, like, if you have not read it, it's gonna speak to you. There is a story for everyone in there, I mean, in my opinion. And it's like, yeah, feminist fairy tales for young and old. It's just like beautiful, and it's really poems, and you have illustrations, and it's just like, it's simplicity, but you know how sometimes simpler means more beautiful, and that was the case with this one. So I would say that this one, but I think I got that one last year actually. So I need to find one that I'm sure I got this year. I got one. And that's an illustrated edition of The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. The book is so tiny. I have like the edition here. Like, it's such a tiny book. It's like 200 something pages. Like, yeah, 250 pages, 60 pages. And then you have that chunker, and it's beautiful illustrations, and it's all like, I love books that have no dust jackets, you know, because I feel like so much more precious, I would say, and older, and you know, whatever. I just love them. I cannot wait to reread that book just to enjoy the way it is done and all the illustrations. So if you know, I'm a fan of Neil Gaiman because I think he's a storyteller. He's a genius. I have not read all his books, but I would like to, because even if some bits in his books are not for me or are not something I especially like, I can see how genius it is. For me, he is a master. He's amazing. I love him. I don't know him personally or whatever, but I love him. Everything he does is amazing. Everything. And everything I watch from him, like the interviews or like the courses, etc, etc. I love him. Okay. And we have what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Wow, so we have the rest of the An Ember in the Ashes series. We also have Malice. I have the 3 next books, but I don't have the first one yet. It's on its way here. Always like this, when you order a series, the first one is not the first one to get here. Other books that I need to get to, there is nothing really I need to get to besides the books we'll be reading for the Howling Pack, but there is a video coming for that, I guess, with all the books we will be reading. Oh, I should film it. Oh my gosh. If I already managed to finish the 2 series I'm in the middle of for the read-alongs, that would be amazing. Then for the rest, it's just bonus. And just for your info, so far I've read 40 books and my goal is to read this year 80 books. So I'm good. Knowing that I had like a weird reading slump period for the past 3 months, I think I'm doing okay. So let's hope I don't jinx it by saying this and that I get better and better. My gosh. Well, wolves, that's it. That's the end of this tag. I did okay, knowing that it was not prepared, so I did okay, I think. But yeah, comment down below books that are coming out the second half of the year, because I really don't know. I feel so bad. Usually I know these things. Usually I know like a few, whatever, but this time my brain cannot. I cannot. So please let me know. But yeah, wolves, thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to be a part of the pack. Talk to me in the comment section as usual. And until next time, take care, wolves. Bye.